Hello everybody and welcome back. It's me, GhostCritic, with a rather ghoulish addition to my 5 years on YouTube celebrations. All these videos have been suggested by you lot out there, my viewers. We're kicking off today's video with a suggestion from Ape Like Me, who asked me, what are my top 5 horror comics? Horror seems to be making a resurgence of late, certainly in the Image Comics imprint, which we will see many appearances of in my top 5 list. So here we go, in no particular order as always. I'm kicking off with Scott Snyder's latest horror. It's Witches. This is creepy. It's a very Stephen King-ish book. With a family running away from their problems, trying to start anew. Their daughter is captured by a very different version of witches than you would expect, but equally as horrific and scary. Art here by Jock and Hollingsworth on colours make this creepy comic just that more unsettling. Great addition if you're a horror fan. Moving on to another Scott Snyder pen story. It's Severed, set in 1916. This is the story of a runaway boy who gets basically in the wrong car as he hitchhikes across America. Once you've finished this, you will not be getting in any strangers' cars again. This again is another very unsettling storyline, and just has some very creepy images throughout. Anything for the horror aficionado will be in here. Moving on, still on the Image label, it's Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' Fatale. Here we have a almost kind of Lovecraftian crime noir story. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips famous for their noir takes on stories. And here we have the more kind of occult side of the horror. We complete with kind of dark, evil cabals hidden in the middle of forests, chanting incantations, sacrificing animals, women. But again, this is a very kind of creepy, sometimes kind of like far out occult type stuff, but then suddenly gets very grounded with its characters. And this was a title that spanned generations. Great addition. Moving on to what I would say is the more supernatural side of horror, and a universe that I'm only just recently getting into, but it is from the pages of Hellboy BPRD. This is full of kind of, if I was going to compare it to something, it's like the X-Files to the extreme, full of conspiracies and monsters, kind of classic type monsters, but seen from kind of like maybe a different angle. Those ones you thought you should be kind of like they're evil but actually good guys. I would recommend BPRD. After only just 2 volumes of this gorgeous hardback editions, I would want everyone to read BPRD now. Finally on my list, it's a Lock and Key from Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. Another great kind of supernatural suspense story about a family whose father is brutally murdered in front of them, and then they move to this, I guess you'd call it a typical haunted house, but the story is anything from typical and has some great visual and storytelling elements to it. So there you go, top 5 horror comics.